Hi everyone, Sophie here, welcome back. And today I'm going to guide you through a 20-minute inversion flow. Now, the word inversion can sometimes sound super intimidating, so I just want to reassure you that all an inversion is a posture where your head is below your heart and your hips. So postures like a downward facing dog, a standing forward bend, or even just lying on your back, having your legs up the wall, they all count as an inversion. If you're following along with the challenge today, this is day number 17 and it's called Viewpoints. An inversion can be a beautiful way to shift your perspective, to look for new things, new thoughts, and new intentions. So with that being said, we're going to get going and we're going to start by pressing play on that playlist in 3, 2, 1. So we're going to start our flow in Sukhasana, seated cross-legged, just as we are. Perhaps moving those fleshy parts of the bottom so we can root down through those sit bones. Maybe softening the gaze, closing down the eyes. And we're going to begin our practice with a 3-part breath today. Making lots of space to welcome in those new thoughts, those new perspectives. So together we take one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Together we're going to inhale through the nose to belly, to ribs, to collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, to collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, belly. Final round, inhale to belly, up to the ribs, into the collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, belly. Just bringing your breath back to its regular rhythm now, and an invitation to welcome in that Ujjayi breath, breathing softly in and out through the nose. Finding that gentle rasping, that oceanic sound. And we're going to use that breath today to stay present, to build a little bit of warmth in the body, helping us to feel nice and open for these inversions. When you're ready, fluttering, open the eyes. We'll release the bind. We're going to extend our right leg out ahead of us. So flexing those right toes, left foot inside the calf or thigh, just taking a little Janu Sirsasana. We're going to inhale, arms rise nice and high towards the sky. And then exhale, take a forward fold. Softening chest down towards the ground, not worrying about how far you go today. This may be the first forward fold of your day. It's certainly mine, so just being a little bit kind to yourself here. Final inhale. Exhale, ripple up through the spine. Slide those hands behind the glutes. Just switch those legs around for me. Left leg extended, right foot on the inside of the calf or thigh. Flexing left toes towards the face. We're going to inhale, lift those arms nice and high. And then exhale as you forward fold. Softening everything down towards the earth as we just breathe into that lovely deep opening down the back of the leg here. Final inhale. On your exhale, ripple up vertebrae by vertebrae. That head arrives last. Hands behind those glutes. This time, cross those legs, roll over the knees, come to find a tabletop position. So shoulders in line with wrists, hips over knees. Spread those fingers nice and wide and just take a moment to warm up the wrists. So rocking backwards and forwards. Maybe you take a little rock from side to side or swirling those hips around. Listening out for any creaks and cracks. I certainly have a few this morning. And then when you're ready, spread those fingers nice and wide. We're going to tuck the toes. Lift the tailbone nice and high. Come to find your first downward facing dog. So arriving in that first inversion, head lower than the heart space, lower than the hips, gazing between the knees. I invite you just to find some stillness here for 3 breaths. Trying to open down the back of the legs as you let that head hang heavy. Finding strength, yet softness through those shoulders. On your next inhale, gaze forward. End of the exhale, take a little step, jump, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, fingertips to shins. We look forward, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Second inversion, taking hold of opposite elbows. Allow the head to dangle lower than the heart space, lower than the hips. See, without realizing, we already have so many inversions in these flows that we've been doing over the last 17 days. It just takes a bit of time to bring our awareness to what they are, how they benefit the body. When you're ready, releasing the bind, interlace the fingers at the base of the skull and roll up as slow as you can, vertebrae by vertebrae, finding our first little viewpoint. Gaze is lifted, shoulders rolling back and down. Coming to a standing cat-cow now. We're going to softly bend those knees. Inhale to open the chest, curve the spine, open the heart space. And then exhale, round the back body, gaze towards the belly. Inhale, we lift and lengthen, open through the chest. And then exhale, round the spine. Final time, we lift and lengthen, neck is long here. And then exhale, really round the back body, wrap those elbows in front of the face. And then release the bind, Tadasana, mountain pose. We're going to step to the left-hand side with the left foot. Step the right foot behind the left, and then sweep that right arm all the way up and over. But take the left hand to the right elbow. So coming to find this nice deep stretch into the side of the body, really opening out through that tricep. We're going to be working towards a dolphin and Pinchamayurasana today as well. So really opening out through those shoulders, through the side of the body. Final inhale here. Exhale, release the bind, give everything a little shake, and then coming onto the opposite side, step to the right with the right foot. Left arm over the head, right hand to that left elbow. Take a little side stretch. Perhaps noticing how this side feels a little different here. Again, gazing forward, finding that drishti. Final inhale. Exhale, release the bind, come back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose, standing strong, standing tall. On your next inhale, we're going to press down to lift up, rise. Lightly touch the palms, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we look forward, fingertips to shins. Exhale, hands on the earth. Step back with the right foot, and then the left foot come to a high plank. Shift the weight forward. We're going to exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, 3 points. Inhale to slide that chest forward, gaze is lifted in your baby cobra. Exhale, release, roll all the way back over those knees, tuck the toes. Send the tailbone nice and high, downward facing. Breathing here. 3 breaths. Final inhale, gaze forward, end of the exhale, step, jump, float to the top of the mat. Inhale, we look forward, lengthen. Exhale to bow. Root to rise, Ardha Hastasana, rippling up through the spine. Touch the palms. Exhale, flow it all the way down. Inhale, we look forward, we lengthen, flat back. And then exhale, hands to the earth, option to step, jump, float back. Move through a full vinyasa, so this time high to low plank. Or you can stick with that knees, chest, chin. Moving through the upward facing or cobra before we all meet back in our downward facing dog. Now for our 3 breaths this time, we're going to take 3 tiger rolls. So on your next inhale, rise high on the toes. Exhale, ripple forward, vertebrae by vertebrae, high plank. When you arrive, bend those knees, shoot the bottom back, downward facing. Inhale, we lift and lengthen, rolling forward, neck is long. Exhale, bend the knees, ripple back like a wave. Final time, we inhale, roll forward. This time we're going to hold in that high plank. Breathing here, maybe rocking the weight slightly backwards and forwards as you draw up between the navel and the center of the spine. Inhaling here. Exhale, we're going to lower to a low plank. Hold here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale to your upward facing, thighs off the earth. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, right leg rises high to the sky. Exhale, step or guide the foot between the hands. Spin onto the outer edge of that left foot and peel open warrior 2. So nice deep bend in that right knee, opening through the chest here, through the hips. We're then going to flip that front palm, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior, crack open the side body. Deep inhale here. Exhale, right forearm, right thigh, sweep the left arm up and over. Second viewpoint towards the sky. Breathing here, we're only here for one inhale. Exhale, sweep that left hand inside the right foot. Peel right hand to the sky in your easy twist. Deep inhale as you gaze up towards that viewpoint, the sky. And then exhale, we're going to roll onto the outer edge of that left foot. Step the right foot to join the left. Vashisthasana, side plank. Feeling the warmth building in the body here. We inhale, sweep that right arm all the way up and over. And then exhale, that right forearm is going to land on the earth. Left arm lifts high, coming into a forearm side plank on the opposite side. Lifting and lengthening through the side body. Inhale. Exhale, come to bring both forearms down on the earth. Bring them into a number 11 shape, so all 10 fingers facing forward. Holding here in that forearm plank. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to see if we can tiptoe those feet all the way up towards the elbows, coming to find our dolphin. Breathing here. Again, thinking about that belly button to spine as we lift that tailbone nice and high. Taking those 3 breaths, of course, that option to go to a downward facing dog is there instead if this does not feel good for you. When you're ready, we're going to press down through both palms, seeing if we can all meet back in that downward facing. And then exhale to move through a little vinyasa, so ripple forward. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale to our upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving straight to that left hand side now. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step or guide the foot between the hands. Spin onto the outer edge of that right foot. Peel straight up to our warrior 2. Gazes lifted, shoulders drawing back and down. We inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale to reverse that warrior. Cracking open through the side of the body, deep. Inhale here. Exhale, wimble those arms through warrior 2. Left forearm, left thigh. Sweep the right arm up and over, gazing to the sky. Inhaling here. Exhale, spin around, right hand inside, left foot. Peel the left arm up towards the sky. Easy twist. One breath through the nose. On your exhale, roll onto the outer edge of that right foot. Step the left foot to join the right in Vashisthasana, side plank. Really engaging the core here. Lifting those hips high, and then we're going to sweep that left arm all the way up and over. Allow the left forearm to arrive on the mat. Sweeping that right arm high. Breathing here, we inhale. Don't worry if you're shaking, I certainly am here. When you're ready, right arm all the way up and over. Slide the right forearm down, coming into that forearm plank again. Breathing here for a few breaths, maybe rocking a little backwards and forwards. And then that option, that invitation to tiptoe the toes towards the elbows, coming into our dolphin. Breathing here. Maybe this time you play with lifting one leg and then the other, feeling that agni, that fire building in the belly. Final breath here, we inhale. On your exhale, can you press into both hands, coming back to your downward facing dog. We're just going to take a deep clearing breath now here, in through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. An invitation here to drop the knees for a moment, untuck the toes. Take a little rest in your child's pose, but I really like here to open out into those triceps a little more, to just give us a little bit more space before we take a few kicks up into a pincher. So we're going to take our knees as wide as the mat. Pat the hands forward, and as if you're coming into an anahatasana, so fingertips to the top 2 corners of the mat, lift the tailbone. Exhale, sink the chest down, allow the elbows to find the earth, and then bring the hands into a prayer position and slide it to the back of the neck. You might find you want to shuffle those knees away a little, bring them a little bit more underneath the hips just to intensify that stretch. Again, nice, audible and even breaths here. Final inhale. Exhale, we're going to release that bind. Come back into our tabletop position. Shoulders in line with wrists, hips over knees. We're going to lower down onto the forearms now. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Tuck the toes. Send the tailbone nice and high. And your option to play around with that dolphin. Maybe you want to have a little kick and see if you can float those legs high to the sky. Not worrying if you wobble or fall here, really pressing down to lift up. And if you're nearby to a wall, it can be fun to have some playtime against the wall, lifting one leg and then the other. So I'm just going to invite you to play here for 5 more breaths. If you're trying for that pincher, we're spreading the fingers nice and wide, arms in the number 11, tuck the toes, lift the tailbone, and try not to kick too far up. We just want to be lifting the leg and taking a little baby hop. Again, not worrying if you wobble like me. Now, when you've had a play around in that dolphin, that pincher, we're all going to meet back in that child's pose. Stretching those fingertips forward, softening chest towards the earth. Maybe wiggling hips a little from side to side as we just catch our breath. Letting any unwanted thoughts, any expectations just fall out of the crown of the head. We're here to have fun, to play around. So don't worry too much about what happened today, how it looked, if you fell. If you just weren't feeling any inversions at all, maybe you stayed in a forward fold, maybe a downward facing. When you're ready, we're going to slide those hands under the shoulders, rock up through a tabletop position, maybe a little cat-cow just to reset the spine. And then we're going to tuck the toes, send the tailbone nice and high, come to our final downward facing. Coming back to that nice clearing breath, we inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. On your next inhale, gaze forward. End of the exhale, step, jump, float to the top of the mat. And we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to bow. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Gather everything either side of your body. And then exhale, lightly touch those palms together. Come down to find a Tadasana. Just focusing on that viewpoint. Finding presence, finding stillness here as we bring our breath back to its regular rhythm, releasing that Ujjayi breath. And together we're going to heel toe the toes to touch, soft bend in the knees as we root to rise. Rise the arms high towards the sky. So almost as if you were in a handstand here. Softening through the shoulders, gaze is lifted. And see if you can find that viewpoint, pick that one spot. We're then going to lightly touch the palms, draw the hands to your heart center, softly bend the knees. Don't worry if you wobble here. We're going to come into a little toe stand. Hands Anjali Mudra, heart center. And then interlacing the fingers, index fingers, pointing towards the sky. We're going to reach those arms forward, peep, open those legs, sit the bottom down. Bring the feet hips distance, one hand to each knee. Inhale, we lift, we lengthen, and then exhale, ripple all the way down. When you arrive, just ensuring you can tickle those heels with your fingertips. And we're going to close our practice today with one round of bridge. So if you have a block here, option to take restorative bridge. Place the block underneath your sacrum. Either stay there, maybe even want to lift the legs high towards the sky. If a bridge isn't calling you, maybe you want to come into that Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. So lying down on your back. Again, legs up the wall in our inversion. If you don't have any props, any walls, any blocks, then you're going to come with me. Heel, toe, the feet hips distance. Tickle the heels with the fingertips. Pressing the hands either side of the hips. Inhale, we prepare. Exhale, keep that gaze even firmly on the ceiling as you lift those hips open through the chest. And either staying here or maybe interlacing the hands as you shuffle the shoulders towards each other, pressing those hips nice and high. And eventually we release the bind when you've taken 3 deep breaths. Ripple all the way down to lie on your back. Maybe give those knees a little windshield wipe from side to side before we let everything go. So legs out long, arms resting either side of your body, perhaps letting those new thoughts, new feelings, new perspectives we've gained from shifting our viewpoint arrive. Breathing here for a few moments in our closing relaxation, our Shavasana. And if you have limited time today, then can you just ask yourself to take 3 more deep breaths, staying present, holding onto that lovely space you created. Allowing the body to be heavy as our mind remains light. And then we're going to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, bringing some awareness, some energy back into the body. Allow that movement to grow as we begin to extend the fingertips above the head, point the toes. Be as long as you can as you feel all that new space. And then we're going to draw the hands to the back of the thighs. Keeping with that energy, take some rock and rolls up and down your back. Massage your spine. Eventually, we'll come to me in a seated position at the top of our mat. Closing the practice the way we began, with a clearing and collective breath. Together we inhale, rise the arms high towards the sky. Lightly touch the palms and draw everything into your heart center as you exhale. Once again, bringing those new thoughts, those feelings, perspectives and intentions into the mind. Thanking yourself for shifting your viewpoints. Together we raise thumbs to third eye, bow chin towards the chest, always in gratitude and always in peace. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.